Greetings all. My name is Tina Brown. I'm coming live to you from the USA. This is to address President Donald J. Trump, the African Union, the Human Rights Foundations, all about Uganda. Uganda elections was taking place just 2 days back. And as of today, the internet is still off. People are being abducted. People are being tortured. There has been over 70 murdered in Uganda. And Museveni is claiming a false victory for the 7th time in the row. Enough is enough. European countries, get in there and help Uganda. Get in there and save Uganda. There's a genocide going on in Uganda. Mr. President Donald J. Trump, please help our Ugandan brothers and sisters, just like you did our brothers and sisters from Venezuela. As for everybody else, please be praying for Uganda. This is Tina Brown, aka Tina Marambi, checking out USA. God bless.
So Museveni has won the just concluded elections in Uganda. And all I can say is, congratulations for the 7th term. We are so happy.
So I hope that South Africans are keeping a close eye on the Ugandan elections. A, because we have our own local government elections coming this year, but also because what's happening in Uganda is a reminder of why you and I need to be ready to fight for and to protect our democracy. We've got the internet being shut down, allegedly to silence the masses and make it difficult for the world to know what's actually happening in those elections. An opposition leader who's literally fleeing capture, and the president of the country who would have served for about 45 years at the end of his latest term. So let's talk about it. If you follow me, you know that I give regular updates on current affairs and matters in the courts. If you're new here, welcome, and please follow. So at 81 years old, Yoweri Museveni has won the Ugandan elections for a record 7th time. According to the Electoral Commission in that country, he won the vote by 72%, beating his opponent, Bobi Wine. Museveni first rose to power in 1986, overthrowing an oppressive regime, but some have argued that he's now become to the people of Uganda exactly what he liberated them from. Even though he was a relatively young leader when he rose to power at just 42, he believes that the people of Uganda still need his expertise and knowledge to run the country. Now, that would have been fine if the people of Uganda actually believed so, and according to these election results, that's what it suggests, except the people on the ground, these include some journalists, activists, as well as opposition leaders, insist that this is just another stolen election. He spoke to Sky News in this eye-opening interview.
If I'm available, not dead, not senile, but I'm still around, and I have some knowledge, if you are really serious about your country, why would you not want to take advantage of me if I'm still able?
I mean, what do you think of the young people who do want change, who want someone else to govern? Do you think that that's not sensible? That was what you wanted as a rebel leader.
No, me, I did not. I was actually dying to work with old people because we needed them, unless you are not serious.
A popular opposition leader, Bobi Wine, insists there was vote rigging and ballot stuffing, but of course that could not be shown to the world because there was no internet. But Museveni has defended the decision to shut down the internet.
The shutting it down is because of dealing with criminals who want to use that infrastructure to destabilize our country. It is temporary, it is short term, but we're the ones who built the internet.
Well, Bobi Wine has called on Ugandans to reject the election results and to demonstrate peacefully. While the people of Uganda must find alternative ways to make their voices heard after the official channel seems to have been hijacked, we, as South Africans, must watch closely and take notes.
It is officially that Museveni has won elections of Uganda. You know, there have been calls going around about Museveni must step down, Museveni must go. And people were saying that Museveni must go. They knew they will use their votes. They knew they will use this election of January 15th, 2026 to remove Museveni from power because they are saying Museveni has been there for too long. And This is not just about one man refusing to leave office, but this is about who defines legitimacy, who benefits from instability, who decides leadership in Africa, you know what I mean? Because every time an African leader refuses to step aside on Western terms, the reaction is predictable, you know? Dictator, strong man, authoritarian, anti-democratic. But I want you to notice something important here. There are leaders who rule for decades in the West. These are the monarchies with no election at all. And they are governments that ignore protest. There are governments who jails whistleblowers. And there are governments who spy on citizens. You know, these things happens when you want to remove someone from power. And that was what has been happening to Museveni or to Uganda. Because Ugandans, mostly the youth, they have been wanted to change this government, you know, to have another president. But nothing happened. They went to vote, and Bobi Wine got 22% of the votes. And it's evident that Museveni has declined to resign, has refused or rejected to step down. Okay? Now, let me talk about something here. When calls for Museveni to step down started trending, they followed a familiar script. You know, they questioned the election process. They say the election process is rigged. You know what I mean? They amplify opposition voices. Okay? They threaten sanctions or isolations. Okay? They wait for cracks. So the playbook is not new. We have seen it. There's that playbook. We have seen it in Libya. We've seen it in Mali. We have seen it in Guinea, in Sudan. It is the same playbook that always happen in Africa. You know, that playbook is not new, and the results are always the same: economic chaos, security collapse. You know, foreign exploitation, long-term instability. So when Museveni says no, he's not rejecting opposition pressure. He is rejecting external choreography. Okay? Now, let's be fair. Uganda does have a vibrant opposition. That's the reality. They have tried. I will say Bobi Wine have tried to call out. The youths have tried. But it is that the same playbook, the system is playing the same game they have been playing for so long. Okay? Maybe this is not the time to remove Museveni from power. And maybe people love Museveni. Or maybe Museveni rigged the votes. Sababu Bobi Wine have come out and say that Museveni rigged. And he has tried to give evidence how elections were rigged. You know? When we check out the security factor, Uganda's stability is deeply tied its security structure. The military is not neutral. The police are not independent. They are siding with one another. So that's what is happening in Uganda. You know, Museveni is there, refused to or reject to remove to come out from power. But regardless anything, let peace reign in Uganda. Let peace reign in Uganda. Okay. Our blood cannot pay anything to politicians. We cannot use our bloods as the citizens to pay for politicians, you know. So let's remain peaceful. Now, Museveni, on the other hand, is not confused. Okay, he's not confused. He understands these things very clearly. Power that lives under pressure never returns. Okay, external approval is temporary. Control is better than praise. So when he rejects calls to step down, he is saying, I will not trade sovereignty for applause. Okay? And that stance resonates with some Africans, even those who criticize him. Because Africans have seen what happens when leaders obey foreign pressure. You know, it rarely ends with it rarely ends well. Okay? So this movement just exposes a deep divide in African political thinking. The first group wants generational change, they want openness, they want new leadership, they want economic opportunity. And the other group, they fear chaos, they fear foreign manipulation, and they value stability over speed. Okay? They remember the war that was there during 1980s and 1970s, and they are saying, you know what? Let's just remain with Museveni. Okay? So, Museveni is not stepping down anytime soon. Museveni is not leaving that seat anytime soon, and he is back to power, and it is how it is. Bobi Wine is trying to call for a protest and everything, but I don't know if Ugandans will go to the streets because of that fear. And the streets sometimes are not the answer to everything. Okay? Sometimes streets are not the answer to everything. Sometimes streets are just for, it brings along mass killings and everything. You tell me what you think about this one. Do you think Museveni will just be there, let him stay forever, or what do you think? Until next episode, peace out.